was called beyond the host country, there are other countries. So that is called MNC. MNC koile kon buche? But a company who is a who is operating his business in the different nations. Now the question is, it is only operating the business. That means the company who is supplying or exporting product from the national boundaries, they all are MNCs. Yes, the company who is exporting product to different countries, they all are MNCs.
No, madam. No, madam.
Okay, so that is very clear. The company who have supplies or export his product, he was not an MNC. Who is an MNC? MNC must have a host country who has its own start operation. That means the creation of the country was made in one particular country. That may be a company have a host country is India, and then the company have started his business industries, his workplace in other countries. That means he has created workplace in other countries. That means he have manufactured or he has created, he is being creating product in different countries. So that was called MNC. Which जो कंपनी माने समस्ते आपनकर एक्सपोर्ट करूचंदी प्रोडक्ट समस्ते MNCs नुहंती. So they are exporting product to other countries, but they are not MNC. MNC को माने जो माने अलगा कंट्री रे जाई कि निज प्रोडक्ट को प्रोड्यूस करूचंदी. They do have a manufacturing unit in other countries, and सेमानु को हमें कहूछु कोन ना MNCs. And बहुत टाइम रे when we are talking about MNCs are always try to operate from its home country first, and then they will create subsidiary business in different countries. सेमाने first कोन करंती निजर host country रे business टा को start करंती. तापरे सेमाने तांकर subsidiary business तांकर different countries को जाइकी manufacturing unit start करंती. So there are large number of advantages of this particular process, and you can say particularly some disadvantages be attached to it. Now, if a company become MNC, what are the basic factors required? What we will try to study. What are the features that is being required? How the functions are being maintained? Basic MNC advantages and disadvantages that we need to understand. So first of all, according to our book, what is MNC? According to the Neil, he defines MNC as a multinational corporates or corporations who owns and manages business in 2 or more than 2 countries. It is one of the simplest definition of MNC. It must be emphasized that the headquarters of the multinational company must be located in the home country. जदि इंडिया रो गोटे कंट्री जोटा कि ग्लोबली एस्टाब्लिश्ड अछि, ग्लोबली ता प्रोडक्ट बनौछि एंड बिक्री करछि, then the host country must be India, and then he is producing or procuring or might be selling the product throughout the world. One more thing, a multinational company has been incorporated with the different business organizations. So how it is possible? जेमति कि हमें कहूछु, one of the best way to become a multinational company, if you go to have 3 basic ways, that is called merger, acquisition, and takeover. These are the most traditional form of work through which one can become a multinational company. So आपण गोटे company Mr. XYZ company, it is an Indian company. First of all, the Indian company wants to sell its product in the global platform. So what he have to do? There are 3 options. First of all, he is trying to merge with a multinational, with a foreign company, so that he could able to only sell his product in the international platform. In that way, he could able to expand his business. Once he being merged, then next step is he has to accuse the shares of that particular, company. Once आपण merge हे गेले माने कोण आपणकर भी some with a mutual consent, apanukar 20% share, or say company 20% share is being merged with each other. So in that way, the official merger is being made, and you can sell your product in his country, and he could able to sell his product to your country. It hala gote perspective of this thing. Our gote perspective hela kon na become MNC. You could able to accuse more than 50% share of that company. Once you accuse, the company has lost its identity, and whatever your decision, apna jaha bhi chahibe company acquisition pare, कंपनी रा ना चेंज करिया चाहउछन, ता प्रोडक्ट डिजाइन चेंज करिया चाहउछन, ता प्रोडक्ट आउटलेट चेंज करिया चाहउछन, इट इज कंप्लीटली इट इज अप टू योर हैंड, अपन जहां भी चेंजेस करिया चाहउछन. But in the acquisition where the 100% acquisition heini, like 70% acquisition hechi, 60% acquisition hechi, seti you cannot throw the employees out of the organization. Apna employee man ko bahar kar paribeni. Third kochi kono na takeover, which is a complete share buy of the shares. So in that particular formula, so you could able to establish your own subsidiary business in that particular organization, through that organization. तमने आपण इंडिया रो गोटे कंपनी, आपण यूएस रो गोटे कंपनी को कंप्लीट टेक ओवर कले मींस कोन, कंपनी रो कंप्लीट आइडेंटिटी लॉस हला. In that particular scenario, if you want to change the product, services, employees, business strategy, business outlets, name, अपन जहां भी changes करियो चाहिए, it is completely open to you. This is the 3 way to become MNC in a easiest way, through the stock exchange. Upon a stock exchange through a B, you can be a multinational company by by buying the shares of the different companies in the international or global platform. It is a gote rasta upon MNC banebar. How kon achi? How you could able to be a MNC? Second hala, if you first want to sell the product in a global market, then there are some other countries jemti ki nei jantu gote bahut bhallo example hela. We have Ramdev Baba's business. If you see that business, Ramdev Baba started his business in India, so that is a home country, but he always tried to create the product from the home country, because all the product are based on natural ingredients which are not available in other countries. And the product of Ramdev Baba, after the NDA government, the product of Ramdev Baba or BJP government, it is highly envisaged, it is highly marketed, it is highly endorsed. And when it is highly endorsed, the global market required the product at a very high range. And when global market required the product, what happened? First of all, the product has been sold from India. It was transferred from or exported from India to the global market. But in that way, it is created with a very expensive way. It was sold with an expensive way. So what happened then? The Ramdev Baba has decided to create the subsidiary in different countries. Fine. So nowadays, it could see the outlets of manufacturing outlets of the Ramdev Baba product is there in America. It is there in Paris. Is there in Russia. Those countries who have highly required this product, who have demanded this product, they definitely, the subsidiary units are being prepared to create the products. From this particular, example, one thing is clear that the import of the raw materials are being made from the India, which are not available in other countries. Then the product has been created in a different country. Got it? So this is what the way of, different way of to become the MNC. Now, try to understand some of the MNC's affiliations. Upon the affiliation kotha koibe, mu tikya ko enlarge kali dekhiya pai ki affiliation kotha kouchandi. So you could say that, oh, this picture is not being enlarged. There is no point to enlarge. Okay, just a minute. Okay, see this. If you are foreign multinational and Indian affiliate subsidiary. Now in India, it is Bata India. But when you go to see that same product in the foreign subsidiary, it is called Bata corporations. And same was true if it is in India, that is Cadbury India. But when we see the same product in the international market, the name was little bit different, that is only Cadbury. Then Coca-Cola India, here Coca-Cola corporations, Hindustan Unilever, which is now it is called Unilever only, Timex watches, which is name as in India, but in global platform, the name is only Timex. Synthetic Colgate India, like Pepsi India, Philips India, Sony India. So these are the name which is being created for India, but in the global platform, the name is little bit different. Fine, this is what a little bit small example of this. Now came to what are the basic features of this particular MNC. To become a MNC, what are the features which is being required or which is essential point of discussion. So these are the features. Kon feature rehla first dekho. First one, if the company do not have a huge assets and turnover, the company do not become a MNC. So the first feature which is required, that is huge assets and turnover to become a MNC. Bujhela? Second point, feature of MNC is international operation through a network of branches to start the business. So that was called one of the requirement of MNC. Unity of control, mighty economic power, advanced and sophisticated technology, professional management, aggressive advertising and marketing, better quality of products. So these are some of the features of the MNC. Try to make a little bit discussion on this. Now, huge assets and huge turnover. What are the difference between these two? What is the difference between these two? Anyone? Huge assets and huge turnover. Am I audible, Pilamane?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
Yes,
what do you understood by huge assets and what do you means understood by huge turnover?
Ma'am,
Huge
huge asset means huge profit.
Huge assets means huge
Profit.
Huge profit.
Assets.
Yeah.
Huge asset means this is a company's asset and turnover means it is sales.
Turnover means sales and assets means what?
Asset company's assets like fixed assets and thing.
Okay, fixed assets and
Fixed assets, current assets.
current asset, fixed asset, liquidity asset. So what is that? What is that fixed assets?
Physical things that have value.
Physical
Things that have value.
Okay.
Company net worth, madam.
The company's net worth. Okay,
Yeah.
tell me one thing. What is essential? Company's fixed assets should be very huge or the company's working assets are very huge? What should be very essential to run a company?
Ma'am, working.
Both,
No, madam.
both, ma'am.
No, madam.
How?
Production factor.
Give me one
Fixed
example of a fixed assets.
plant and machinery.
Machinery building.
Very good. Machinery is building who are long-term assets and both time fixed assets ko long-term assets
Computer.
we go to. The assets which are being created by the or procured by the organization for a longer time period for the use of sustainability, that is called fixed asset, and working capital asset jota ki amara daily assets
Day to day.
day-to-day assets kochu, that is also very essential. What are the day-to-day assets? Give me one example.
Day to day requirement, ma'am.
First of all, day-to-day assets re apanଙ୍କର ଆସିବ କଣ କହିଲେ wage, ଯୋଉଟା ଆପଣଙ୍କର manpower create କରୁଛି, that was the first asset, right? सो मन रखता जिते आम डोमेस्टिक कंपनी कथा कहूँ गोटे डोमेस्टिक लेवल रे कंपनी कहूँ से कहूँ कि जब डे टू डे एसेट मोर हाई रोचे एंड फिक्स्ड एसेट टिके लो रोचे फिर भी कंपनी सस्टेनेबल कौन पाइना डे टू डे एसेट कैन क्रिएट द मार्केट डे टू डे प्रोडक्ट अपन डे टू डे रे अपन जहाँ भी यूज कर निजर एसेट्स को that is essential. So the leverage is not very bad if the day to day asset is little bit high. But just comparison re, when we are talking about MNC, sati MNC re day to day asset or fluctuative asset or liquidity asset, it is not worked at all. Fine. That's why the whole dependency was there in the fixed asset. So that is the point why it is says that if the company's assets, or specifically when we're talking about fixed assets, are very high, then he could able to create himself as a international or create as a global basis or create himself as a multinational company. Second one is turnover. Turnover is how much able to sell. That means your input must be very minimum and your sales must be very high. So in that ratio, the turnover or the profit has to be very high. So that is, that created a pathway for your company to become a MNC. जदि मोर बहुत अधिक टर्नओवर न होबो मोर बहुत अधिक सेल्स न होबो मु इंटरनेशनल मार्केट रे निजो प्रोडक्ट को फर्स्ट एक्सपोर्ट करके एस्टैब्लिश न कली ताले हाउ आई बिकम MNC. So it is very essential that the huge physical and financial assets, physical koile those product which is required to run your organization, and financial koile apankara stakes, apankara shares, apankara bonds, apankara investments, apankara financing, all are came under the financial assets. So that is the first point to become the MNC or first feature. Second one, it is called as international operation through a network of branches. So MNC has production, marketing operations in several countries and operating through a network of branches, subsidiary and affiliated to host country. मुझे एमती कहली first आपनकर जो ways to become a MNC, first of all you have to sell your product in an international market, that is simply called as exporting your product. Once you become very successful in exporting the product and you got the information that your product is one of the most demanding product, top seller, fine, in the international platform, now it is the way will open for you to become an international, organization. जोटी आपण जानिले कि आपण को product is came along with a high demand, ताले आपण निजर product international platform रे बिकिया पाई कि you create your own subsidiary organizations in the international platform through some network of branches. But that has to be affiliated by the host country. Now, our next point is called unity of control. Now, what do you understand by unity of control? Unity of control means the host country has to control the all offices throughout the globe. आपनकर MNC रो जितने भी branches अच्छी throughout the globe, whatever offices are there throughout the globe, मन रखता तो that is a host country. That is a host country, or in some books it is written home country. So the host country or home country has to control all the offices, all the branches which is being operated for the same product of the same company. So the local or the home country is being identified with the unity of control or control on his own hand of the all other country companies who are located in the globe way. Then mighty economic power. So mighty economic power means MNCs are completely and powerful economic entities. They keep on adding their economic power through constant merger and acquisition of the companies in the host country. So they have become more powerful in terms of economy. So when you become a global country, a simple you are staying in India and someone else is staying in America and he was earning in dollars definitely his earning in comparison to your earning is little bit high, and he could able to establish himself in India in a very rapid way in comparison to you. I'm correct? But you are staying in India, you work for India, but your earning is little bit less. That's why you are not able to establish in that comparison to your friend in that rapid way. Same jinse hochi when a company has become a global company and a company is a domestic company or national company. Now, when the company become global company, he earns in in dollar, and when he earns in the dollar, then the economic efficiency of that company increases in comparison to those company who are only sell the product in the domestic or national level. Got it? So when they do have a high amount of money, high amount of economic entities, powerful economic entities, they definitely go for a constant merger and acquisition. जो माने sick company अच्छे जो माने little bit unable to handle their own risk of the company, ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ धीरे धीरे merger and acquisition through रे निजे company सहित add करी जानती, whether it is on a home country, whether it is on a different global platform. And in that way, they become the economic power that is called mighty economic power. Advanced and sophisticated technology. Definitely, if you work in Bhava, if Mr. X is work in Bhava, he is having a restrictive kind of technology. Same person, if he work in NASA, then the technology which is being used by the person that is sophisticated, more advanced, more user friendly, so it will give you a easiest way to work. So same way, when you have a domestic, because India when we're talking about specifically raw materials, first of all, we do have a very high enriched natural resources, but we do not have a sufficient technology to use that natural resources in an effective and efficient way. But same jagare jetale gote foreign country asiki sei natural resources taku use korchi, they do have a technology, they do have advanced and sophisticated technology through which they could able to create this natural resources into a workable product very easily with a very minimum time period, with a very minimum expenditure. So we are very proud to know that we have a country where the maximum intelligent minds are being created by our country. But what happened to that intelligent minds? The intelligent minds are being worked in US, worked in UK, worked in Australia, and because they do require advanced technology, they do require a sophisticated technology, what they do not find in India. And India till date is not able to implement these major advanced technologies. So that's why when we're talking about advanced and sophisticated technology, yes, the company who is having a MNC, definitely he could have operated more sophisticated, more advanced technology in comparison to others. So in that way, they could employ the capital intensiveness with the technology, manufacturing and marketing intensiveness with the technology, and they could able to make a command over the advanced and sophisticated technology, and with that implementation, they could earn a maximum profit. Good minute, Lemon. Then professional management. Now MNC employs professionally trained managers to handle huge funds, advanced technology and international business operations. So that was called professional management. Aggressive advertisement and marketing. So aggressive does not mean aggression. Aggressive means you can say that it is came along with a huge innovations. Aggressive means employed with a huge amount of money, huge amount of innovation, huge amount of practical implementation, huge technology is being used to create a good advertisement or good marketing to attract the customer in the world platform. So that was called aggressive advertisement. Better quality product. Yes. Did you know that India is supplying this gehu to the world platform? The best gehu, the best crops are being export from India, and whatever available in the market na ame tame jo gehu ta use korchu jo अटा जो आपनकर होची जोटा यूज करछु, that is the minimum quality product that Indian people are having. Did you know that? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So India रे actually आमी जो crop गुड़ा का use करछु, whether it is rice, whether it is dal, whether it is गेहूं, so all are minimum quality products. So the product which is came along with the maximum quality, the products came along, the crops came along with the maximum quality. They have been used to export to the various countries with a huge amount. So the demand is very high, and that is being supplied to international market. So that's why the better quality of product is always being availing to the by the MNCs to the world platform, not to the host country. So these are some of the features of the MNC. Now came to the advantages and disadvantages question. Now MNC रे हमरो दीटा तीनटा जिंस ही मेजर थाए. Came to advantages. Advantages रे रहिला कोन? The first advantage is being creating employment generation. If you see this, if you see this a company in the point of view of the host country, it is make employable or create employable opportunities, automatic inflow of foreign currency to India, proper use of ideal resources, improvement in balance of payment option, technical development, managerial development, end of local monopolies, improvement in standard of living, promotion of international brotherhood and culture, limitations registry, danger for domestic industries, reputations of the profit, no benefit to the poor people.
Ma'am, what is repatriation?
Repatriation means patriation kona apanଙ୍କର love for the society, love for the country. So when you are having a international company, that love for the society, love for the country, that patriation is become less. So patriation of profit become less. That's why it is called repatriation of profit. I will come to that, don't worry. So first body duty, no benefit to the poor people, danger to independence, disregards of the national interest of the host country. Then we have mighty status, careless exploitations of the natural resources. So that was natural resources being exploited by the people. Selfish promotion of the aligned cultures, exploitations of the people in a systematic manner. First advantages question. Definitely when we're talking about a MNC multinational company, it will create employment of generations or employment opportunities. If you see the very near, I saw in Economic Times or in a TV, one of the person from south like Kerala, Mr. Chinnaswamy, some Chinnaswamy, he is having the most developed chains of hospitals in Saudi, specifically in Saudi Arabia, Arabian countries. And almost all doctors, nurses are from the Kerala. That means he employed around, his industries around 50% or 60% employed people are from India who are there with the fellow person in Saudi Arabia, in different places of Saudi Arabia, and they are having a chain of hospital business. So in that way, Mr. Chinnaswamy or something like that, the fellow person's name, is being created an opportunity for the people to work in an international platform. They learn too many things in the international platform. So in that way, the employability being generated by the people who are creating business in the international market. For the host country, I'm talking about in view of the host country. So other economy, even in if you see, there are large MNCs, जो माने MNCs भी रहुचंदी foreign रो. India is the host country जो मानकर देखिए से माने Indian population को बहुत अधिका chance दियंती to come and to work under their organizations. Then automatic inflow of foreign capital, that is very obvious. When there is a employment opportunities, automatic inflow hoba kahara foreign currency ro, through that the foreign reserves increases. It is the most important part. Third है proper use of ideal resources. So whatever ideal resources, ideal कहले जो resources पूरा हम पाखरे एमिति पड़ी रहुची in ideal condition तार कोनोसी काम नहीं ताको कामरे लगेबा, that ideal resources को in a working condition को आनिबा, that is also a work
Ma'am,
of
for example, what is ideal?
ideal resources कहले आपनकर नै जानतु जेमति के एबे कि आपनकर मुंबई रे rain water harvest होची. Fine. We all know that Mumbai re water supply is one of the major issue or major challenge. So it was not being identified by any organization, any NGOs also. We heard about ki water consumptions and water purification and this rainwater harvesting has to be done, but that idea was an ideal condition. But Tata with some international companies are being came forward and create a large harvesting system of this rainwater, and now these ideal resources is in a working condition ko asichi, where in some particular portion of Maharashtra they could able to supply the water from harvestment of these rainwater, जोटा कि हमर भी ओडिसा रे बहु वर्ष लानी हमर सुना जाउची जोटी जोटी अधिका वर्षा हुए आपण रेन वाटर हार्वेस्ट करि परिबे, रेन वाटर को आउथरे पानी पीबा पई कि री प्यूरिफिकेशंस करि परिबे. बट सरकार करू नाहंदी ड्यू टू इट इज हाईली रिक्वायर्ड अ हाई इन्वेस्टमेंट. फाइन, बट दिस प्राइवेट कंपनीज ट्राई टू डू दिस आइडियल जो आइडियल आपनकर आइदर इट इज आइडियल रिसोर्सेस कहि दियंतु कि आइडियल आपनकर जो थॉट प्रोसेस अछि आइडियल रहउतिला. Now they could able to implement into action. Improve balance of payment. Obviously, when there is a inflow of money, inflow of currency, upon balance of payment increasement hobo. Technical development, that is being already discussed by us, that when we are here and our companies are there in international global platform, semane definitely tankara technology ko India host country re bhi implement karibe, use karibe. Then managerial development, when the technology being used, definitely the managers are also being efficient to use that technology. नले कहीं की technology use ही परिबनी, so managerial development होगा. End of local monopolies, yes, local monopolies किछि मात्रा रे कमिबो if you see in the global platform रे जदि आपण company गला तो आपणकर local monopoly आपण करिबेनी. Improvement in standard of living. अपन को जिते अपन को इनकम बढ़िबो, स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग बढ़िबो, so that is very sure. Promotion of international brotherhood and culture, yes, it will promote the international brotherhood and culture. लोक मानकर कल्चर विषय में जानिबा, ताको एनहांसेस करिबा, बहुत लोक अडॉप्ट करंती इंटरनेशनल कल्चर को, so that is the advantages. Came to the disadvantages. It is something for the host country point of view, it create a danger for the domestic industries. So जो माने domestic industries थिले सेमान को product to जो माने international industry बनिबे सेमाने better product देई परिबे with an efficient manner, with an efficiency includes, or you can say that more innovative products देई परिबे. गोटे simple example नै जानतो, आपण जो plastic कंढी plastic जिंस किनुचंदी मार्केट रे किछि प्लास्टिक चाबी दिया कंढी किनुचंदी, जदि इंडिया रे सेटा प्रोड्यूस करा जाउची, if it is manufactured by India, the product price is around 100 rupees, but same product China हमको provide कोचु with 30 rupees, 40 rupees, but the name is it a Chinese product. So what is the, because आपण भी जानते घर को जेतले से छोटो कंडीटा आनिबे, your daughter or son or your niece who is a very small baby, से केते दिन सेटा खेलिबो तापर सेटा भांगी ही जीवो ultimately. So why you spend 200 or 100 rupees to buy a buy a doll? What you know that after 5 days or 6 days it is going to be damaged. So why don't you buy that in 30 rupees or 40 rupees? ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଯଦି ଆପଣ ଇଣ୍ଡିଆନ କୌଣସି ବି ଇଭେନ ସପ୍ କୁ ଯିବେ, ଏଇ ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱର ସପ୍ କୁ ଯାଆନ୍ତୁ, ସେଠି ଆପଣ ଇଣ୍ଡିଆନ ମ୍ୟାନୁଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଚର ପ୍ରଡକ୍ଟ ମାଗନ୍ତୁ, they will say that ଆରେ ଆମେ ରଖୁନୁ। କଣ ପାଇଁ ରଖୁନୁ? ବିକଜ ଏକ ତ ଏଇଟା କଷ୍ଟଲି, ଦୁଇରେ ହେଲା କଣ ନା ଏଇଟା ତ ସେଇ 5 ଦିନ ପରେ ଛୋଟ ପିଲା ଭାଙ୍ଗିଦେବେ, ତ କାହିଁକି ଆମେ କଷ୍ଟଲି ଜିନିଷ ରଖିବୁ, ଲୋକ ସବୁବେଳେ ଚିପର ପ୍ରାଇସ ରେ ଜିନିଷ କିଣନ୍ତି। ସୋ ଇନ ଦ୍ୟାଟ ୱେ ଆମେ ଯୋଉ ମାର୍କେଟ କହୁଛୁ, ମାର୍କେଟିଂ ମାୟୋପିଆ କନସେପ୍ଟ କହୁଛୁ, ଏଇଟା ଚାଇନିଜ ମାନେ ବହୁତ ଆଗରୁ ଆଡପ୍ଟ କରିଛନ୍ତି, ଇଣ୍ଡିଆରେ ଏପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଆଡପ୍ଟ ହେଇନି। ତାମାନେ କଣ, ଟେକ୍ନୋଲୋଜି ସହିତ ଆପଣ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରଡକ୍ଟ ବନାନ୍ତୁ with minimum cost, ଫାଇନ୍, ଯୋଉଟା କି ଗୋଟେ ଆସିବ ଗୋଟେ ପର୍ଟିକୁଲାର ଟାଇମ ପିରିୟଡ ସହିତ, ମାନେ ଆପଣ ମାସଟେ ଖେଳିଲା ପରେ ଏଟା ଡ୍ୟାମେଜ ହିଁ ହେଇଯିବ। ତା ଦ୍ୱାରା କଣ ହବ, ଆପଣ ଆଉଥରେ ସ୍କୋପ ରହିବ ସେ ପ୍ରଡକ୍ଟ ବିକ୍ରି ହବାର, କିଣା ବିକ୍ରିର ଯୋଉ ଗୋଟେ सर्कल ଅଛି, ଗୋଟେ ସାଇକେଲ ଅଛି, it is going on. So in that way the industry also going on. So this is what called the domestic industry. When you have a product with a minimum price of an international brand, why to buy a product of a domestic brand with a higher price? सुनंदु, brand भी सकते affect करिवनी जेते price affect करिवो. Then the repatriation of profit. जेते profit कथा कहूछु, इंडिया रे सब बेले एटा गोटे जेतले हम ग्लोबल मार्केट रे प्रोडक्ट तयारी होउची, सेटिका लोक एम्प्लॉयमेंट जदि 50% धर इंडियन लोक एम्प्लॉयड होउचंदी, 50% अदर कंट्री लोक एम्प्लॉयड होउचंदी, से माने लाभ पाउचंदी, दे गॉट प्रॉफिट। सो एटा रिपैट्रिएशन ऑफ प्रॉफिट हे जाउची, त माने कोन रिवर्स ऑफ प्रॉफिट होउची बहुत टाइम रे, जोटा कि गोटे पैट्रियट कंट्री पाइंगे इट इज नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल। जदि आपण लव फॉर द सोसाइटी, लव फॉर द कंट्री करचंदी, एटा नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल। देन no benefit to the poor people. गरीब लोकंकर बेनिफिट आधे कोन रहिला? There is no benefit to the poor people, no benefit to the priority people. Danger to the independence. Same way रे आपण जदि मन रखथिबे, 18th century रे the Britishers came to India to sell their product, not to rule over India. They came to sell their product, but one time came when he became the ruler of India. So सब बेले मन रखथंतु, किना बिका ही गोटे बाट जो जहा थ्रू रे इंटरनेशनल एस्टाब्लिशमेंट ही गोटे बाट जहा थ्रू रे आपण कोनोसी भी कंट्री को कंट्रोल करि परिबे। देन disregards of the national interest of the host country. Sometimes it is occurred, I am not very much says it is correct, बहुत टाइम रे हमर नेशनल इंटरेस्ट को डिसरिगार्ड्स करा जाय, बट प्राय कंट्री प्राय कंपनीज करंती नहीं। mighty status, that means जो status of host country अच्छे धीरे धीरे सेटा कमी कमी जाउची, डिक्रीज करि जाउची। careless exploitation of the natural resources. The best example is Odisha. Odisha रे जो natural resources पर की different companies of the national and international companies, they came and started their business in like Bollani and all. ସେମାନେ natural resources को एते exploit कले, तामाने जो जेतिके दिन भितरे सरीबा कथा ताटु पाखापाखि 20-30 years पूर्व तांगा MOU सब सरी गला, then they will go back to their they stop their manufacturing and they go back to their own country or own platform. ता द्वारा कोन हैला, employable लोक माने unemployed ही बुलचोंदी आज का डेट रे। So if you are not using the natural resources with a careful way, then this exploitation was there. Those for that you have to make a constant monitoring. Then selfish promotion of aligned cultures. With due respect to all cultures, देखिबा इंडिया रे बहुत लोक अछनी convertees, converted Christians, converted Muslims, converted Sikhs, so what do you mean by that? बहुत जगह रे आपण आज का डेट रे भी देखिबे, बहुत जगह रे फाइनेंशियल and जो facilities like social economical facilities को देई की लोगों को align culture को convert करा जाउची, So that may be a wrong promotion, then a selfish promotion, you can say that. Exploitation of the people in a systematic manner. So in that way, exploitation is being made. So these are some of the advanced limitation and advantages of this particular, MNC. MNC जदि आपनकर question आसुची, आपनकर question आसुची in specifically in आपनकर exam रे, ताले question ता एया ही रहिबा आपनकर MNC रो, that just a minute. Whatever. So if the question came in this way, that is what is MNC, like not in this way, but MNC ro major asibo, tar advantages and disadvantages likhibo, or challenges you can write. So ei tinta question MNC ro asibo jodi ei tinta jinsa hi ase kana adhiri hi apan kichi likhi paribe, the challenges of the MNC, advantages and disadvantages of MNC. Okay. Okay, we will carry forward.
Ma'am, what a question I asked the question. Will you please explain in short what is MSc, strategic planning MSc को?
MSc ita movie say question ta dekhuchi, because movie I am not very clear, because ita last year question ta diya hichi. मते टिके टाइम दियंतु हबो जे म काली आपन को सेते क्वेश्चन ta discussion करिवि.
ठीक है, थैंक यू.
Okay. So Girdhari